Hello, it's Ruben from Rice Digital. Apologies, was supposed to be co-op. Missing. But still going to play Travis Strikes Again, because might as well. Comes out like now, so you can go out and you can buy this now. Although I hear that the Nintendo store is sold out, so don't go to the official store. Yeah, so we might as well jump in. I mean, I'm a little bit further into this game. I'm not going to show you too far ahead because I don't want to spoil anything in the latter parts of the game, because the latter parts of the game are insane. So, but what I will do is I will quickly show you the t-shirts thing. As you probably know, there's various different t-shirts from various different games, like indie games and stuff like that, that are all referenced within Travis Strikes Again as t-shirts that I really wish existed in real life. So, like, we're talking like games like Dead Cells, Pocket Rumble, Wargroove, which is the one I've currently got equipped because best girl, Salt and Sanctuary, Undertale, Minute, Hateful Boyfriend. Like, there's just so many like games referenced in here, as well as like various Unreal and then individual like unique t-shirts to this. But I'll go for Hateful Boyfriend. Why not? So yeah, Hateful Boyfriend, awesome. Right, so I think the best thing to do would be to jump into the first game on the Death Drive Mark II. For those of you that aren't familiar with the premise of this game, essentially you are playing Travis and Badman, who have been sucked into a sentient killer games console, as stupid as that sounds, and you have to fight your way through the various games that are contained where they're in. You have to find the games to play on it and then complete each game. So although the moment-to-moment gameplay, like the hack and slash gameplay, is the same, and it definitely remains the same for most of the game, there's other kind of gameplay elements that are kind of thrown in depending on which game you're playing. So I mean, this is the simplest one, Electric Thunder Tiger. We'll go from starting point one, from the starting point. But like, there's a racing game, and there's a puzzle game, and a murder mystery, and just like loads of different types of game that you play through as Travis and Batman. Our hero always starts completely in the nude, which is great because he's essentially inside a computer simulation. So like, yeah, so basic principle is basic attacks, which are infinite, heavy attacks, and then obviously there's a combination of the two. And then, as you can see on the left hand side, I've got particular skills equipped, of which you can change those for various different effects that do various different things, which is quite cool. But I've kind of fallen into a weird thing in which I've kind of settled on a skill set, and because of that I've ended up playing it with that skill set to no other, with literally no other skills equipped. Hello, Mark with the C. It's a pleasure to have you in the chat. If only you could stick around a little bit longer, but obviously you have a life, it's fine. But yeah, welcome, and yeah, this is a very good game. I couldn't recommend it more. Our review, the Rice Digital review, will be up next week, early next week, because I received my code a little bit late, because my like, long story short, my code request was lost, or got buried under a deluge of other code requests. So I ended up getting the game a little bit late. So I've been doing my best to get through it as much as possible. So yeah, review will be up next week. And yeah, this is an ongoing theme throughout the game of self-referential, fourth wall breaking, humour and dialogue. I mean, I do find it weird that Death and Drive are kind of symbiotic character for this is cool. It's cool, but it's weird. Then again, that just sums up everything that SUDA 51's done, really. There's a statement. Right, onwards. I think actually last time I did this mission, as in the first time I did this mission, I died, so if I could not die this time, I've already done better than I did last time I was here. Also, I very much favour the heavy attack, just saying, going forwards. Just because it does so much more damage. Oh yeah, we absolutely love SUDA 51 for just how nuts he actually is, and how nuts his gameplay ideas are. I mean, this, like, see, I've seen a lot of, or I've heard a lot of more negative viewpoints of this game that I don't immediately get, I must admit. I don't immediately understand why. I think it... I mean, everyone has their own opinions, obviously, but, like, it just seems that people are not giving this game enough of a chance, if you get what I mean. Because it has all of the quirky, like unnecessarily quirky charm of standard SUDA games, but with just so many more gameplay options. So I don't see any reason why this would be a bad thing. I must admit, I mean, I did start writing a little bit of my review because I played a fair amount, so I've got kind of I've got the core basics of my review written down. I just need to finish it so I can make sure that everything I think remains the same from the beginning to the end of the game. It's a very hard game to review because it is complicated. You could say unnecessarily complicated at points. No, I can't get that one. And it is. It, like, the narrative on occasion is a little bit saturated, simply because you've got the overarching narrative of the entire game, plus also the individual narratives of each game within the each Death Drive Mark II game. So you've got like two sets of narratives to keep up with. And yeah, I mean, that's why I wanted to play it co-op on this stream, just so people could see the co-op, because it is drop in, drop out, which is fantastic. And the fact you can play like a game like this from beginning to end in co-op is a fantastic aspect of the game. That's why I was hoping today's stream was going to be co-op, but it unfortunately won't be. But I'll be able to play co-op over the weekend with friends, so I will still get the co-op impression by the time my review's finalised. But there's just so much to this game. I mean, like the last level I was doing was an arcade racer, which is insane, like a retro arcade racer, which is just it's so good, but so jarring at the same time. It kind of works quite well. actually, I'm intrigued to do more streams like this in the future, like streams where I just basically just play a game and talk about it as I play. I should be using. I've gotten so used to using the skills later on that I've kind of. I should use the skills more because like I use the skills all the time later on. It's just I'm trying to show like the basic combat off first. You'd be more than welcome, Mark. Unfortunately, you wouldn't get here in time for the stream to finish, I don't think. Oi. There's, I should make it clear, there's two ways that you can charge the beam katana. I only do the button twiddle one, so it's hold the left stick and flick the right stick. But you can also charge it by, you know, doing the typical Travis touchdown motion of implying masturbation, shall we say. So that's still in it. It's just they've given the option because I find the analog stick so much easier. So that's why I use that method, even though because both methods work, but lightning is so OP. I love it. That's how it's done. To be fair, it is fine on a single Joy-Con as well, and also that's one of the great things about this game, the fact that you can, and the Switch in general, really, is the fact that you can just co-op just straight out of the box. You can easily play this game on a single Joy-Con should you want to play it on a single Joy-Con. So yeah, I have played it on single Joy-Con. I played it briefly on. I played the demo, which I believe you were there for, actually, Mark, if I'm not mistaken. I played the demo at. Played the demo twice, actually. I think I played it at Rezzed, and I played it as well at another Nintendo-related event, EGX. That was it. Oh, you weren't there at EGX for sure. Just give myself a little bit of a heal. But I must admit, I found a lot more comfort in doing it dual Joy-Con, like as a normal pad. And Mark, I am really not overly surprised that you are wearing the red leather jacket. You are on brand as a constant state of being, so I'm not overly surprised, I must admit. Okay, what do you want? I love that sentence. That sentence is so good. I've screenshot that sentence specifically because it's just it's such a flexible image that I can use at any point. I think this is now, if I'm not mistaken, the mini boss.
Oh, the same. You could do like a character trailer, similar to what you've done with that.
The lightning is so OP. Please help. Hello, where's Leslie? Please help Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4 come to PC. I'm not sure how much power I have, but I can give it a shot. I don't know how much sway I have, but I can definitely, I can attempt it. I mean, it may end up being that there is actually a proper exclusivity deal in play, which would mean even the almighty power of Rice Digital wouldn't matter that much in the grand scheme against it. So it's a possibility. It took me so long playing this game to work out why the little hand thing appears at the bottom. It's because it's taking the money. It took me so long to realise, because I just saw this little icon come up and I was just like, what in the hell is that icon? And then realised it came up whenever I got money, and then felt like an idiot. Everyone needs a rainbow tiger. It should be a thing in every game. Toilet as well. Oh. To give them credit, a fair amount of credit actually, Wes Leslie, like, NOS America do a good job on quite a lot of things. So, like, I know a lot of people had problems. I mean, I know this is anecdotal, but I know a lot of people had problems with East 8, but like East 8 was like one of my favourite games last year. And I did not see the problems that everyone else had with it. I mean, it might be that because I had the Switch version, I missed the issues that a lot of people had. But I didn't have problems with East 8 personally. But yeah, as I say, I know that that's a personal thing. Do you... okay, I'll deal with one thing, and then the next thing. Well, actually all three things, I'll deal with them in order. The ability syncing up in co-op. From the time I played it, like the 2 demos I played, agree entirely. Like, if you get a good mix of abilities between Travis and Badman, like, it's an incredible time. And you can really have fun, like, syncing those abilities up and just getting a nice combination of things. What was next? Do I feel the RPG elements make the game a little bit too easy? Yes and no. I mean, I think you become naturally better at the game anyway as you play, so there is that. Plus also it does give you the option to not to level up at all. That it does give you that option. It does tell you that you can just not level up at all, which is a definite thing you can do. For those viewing that don't know about this, obviously there's a level up screen here, so I've leveled up to level 8. There's a level up screen here. I mean, you can choose to not level up at all. Just keep accruing those, like, that experience and not do it. One thing I would have liked, I must admit, is if there was the option to level up and level down again at will. So, like, once you'd leveled up, you could go back to previous levels just to increase the challenge for you. If you had made it a bit easy for yourself, I think that would have been a really cool feature, like they had in Xenoblade Chronicles. No, it's not Xenoblade I'm thinking of. What is it I'm thinking of? There's a JRPG where you can do that. Oh, The World Ends With You. And you can... and you can level up the... yeah, you can choose to... lower your level to increase the challenge, like in The World Ends With You. That would have been a great feature in this. That would have been a fantastic feature in this. In fact, I would have loved to see that as a feature in this, now I think about it. because yeah, although a lot of it is skill based, like the level does help you quite a lot just because you have an increase in health mostly. And then the third thing, Danganronpa to the west. Yeah, very happy about that. Danganronpa is a great little series, and I'm glad that NIS America did bring it over. And I love these. The bug extra stuff. It's weird, but I really like it. Is it this way first? Oh no, I need to go both ways because there's something both directions. But yeah, like, it's as Mark says, like, they brought Danganronpa, so I can feel a little bit pleased at that. Oh my god, okay. Oops. Can you stop running away? Thank you. I should have known that wouldn't be it. In fact, actually, I'd love to see you, right now I think about it, Mark, I'd love to see Mark with a C and Nims streaming this in co-op. Make it happen. Because obviously you guys have had quite a lot of experience with this game to an extent, I believe. So I'd just love to see you two going at it and seeing how you two work as a co-op, because you work so well as a team on stage. It'd be great to see how you work as a team when you really have to work together. Do I not fight the mini-boss? There's one more. Ooh. Oh, I can't go that way anyway. Nope. That's fair, Mark, to be fair. I mean, like, I'm having to do the same. I'm having to do the same this year in terms of pacing myself with the games that I actually acquire, because really, Resident Evil comes out next week, and the week after is Kingdom Hearts. So it's a good time to be a gamer, like a really good time. But at the same time, it's a very expensive time to be a gamer simultaneously, so that's a really loud phone chime. Oh. Oh, I've already got the thing here. Anyone watching this, by the way, spoilers. There's an Unreal coin up that way, which unlocks one of the Unreal outfits. I know. Well, the first really, it's not even it's not even January. The first quarter of the year is unbelievably stacked, because you've got like so many big games coming in January, and then you've got like Resident Evil, Kingdom Hearts in January. Then I'm sure there's games in February that I've forgotten, and then March. Oh, and also there was Tales of Vesperia. Oh wait, there was something that way too. Ooh. And then there was Tales of Vesperia as well in January. Oh, I really should be focusing on what I'm doing. There you go. And then in March there's Devil May Cry 5 and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, off the top of my head. It's just nuts. Like, there's just so many games coming. There's just too many games coming, and as essentially a professional game, like I play games for a living, like I review games. Like, it's just insane, all the games that are coming out. And then obviously you've got games like this, which is really, really fun. But obviously I don't think this game is going to set the world alight, but I think it should. If you get what I mean. I don't think that like this game is going to sell like mega, but it's an enjoyable game. It really does deserve to do well, or at least it's an interesting game at the very least. It's a very interesting. It feels like an experiment, and if this experiment pays off with No More Heroes 3 being kind of like a mix between No More Heroes 1 and 2 and this, I'd be totally down for that. That would actually be awesome. Now I think about it, I need to stop thinking about that because that's too cool a thing in my head. Oh no. Right. Box this way. Just hoping the game indicates interest in No More Heroes and Zeroes. Yes, agreed. I agree entirely. I hope it does as well, because there won't be a No More Heroes 3 without interest, surely. Okay, dead end. So if this game does show SUDA that we are totally on board for a third, yeah, that's fine by me. I mean, there's definitely, even if there's not a love for the franchise, there's definitely a love for Travis as a character, so. With obviously there's the big call for Travis to be added to Smash, which I agree with, by the way. Even if it will... These guys have a penchant for killing themselves. Even if that means there'll be so many sword characters, and you'll have like a little inappropriate sandwich, as it were, with both Travis and Bayonetta. Even though Bayonetta is arguably slightly neutered in Smash, because they wouldn't be able to put like full-on Bayonetta in Smash for sure. Do I want to do this? What's over here? I don't think I came over here last time, or did I? I didn't. Those, the Azteca stones, they unlock t-shirts, so try to always go off, not that far off the beaten path, but try and go off the beaten path from time to time, because you will more than likely unlock something or find something that is hidden, like an Azteca stone or a Unreal T-shirt or something like that. But there'll be there'll be something to find if you go looking for it. Oh, you are not wrong there. I am so excited for Joker and Smash. I mean, like, I can imagine you were more excited than me, but like I practically screamed because I stayed up and watched that, the Game Awards, and just that one announcement made it worth it. Because arguably it wasn't worth it for me staying up until goodness knows when for no reason. Yeah, just sort of. So that was one of those moments that I was just like, oh, I'm so glad I stayed up to watch that. Just for the thing being, there's something about being there at the time things happen. So, like, staying up to watch E3 broadcasts, for instance, and you're there when the news breaks, and you can be excited at the same time as everyone else. There is something about that that's really enjoyable. Did you receive a genuine noise complaint? Because that does sound about right. Because you were very noisy. I saw on your Twitter just how noisy you were. Is there really any point doing any attack besides the heavy? It's slower, but my god. Yeah, to be fair, I mean, yeah, I agree with you entirely. You may have been really noisy, but at least you had a good reason for being that noisy. Ooh. Oh, hello. I forgot. This is another thing about the game. Travis's cat will just hide in the level, in some levels, just for the fun, and you can find her around. I take it that you enjoyed the MKX reveal yesterday, because of course you did. I must admit, I mean, I didn't. That's one of the things I didn't watch live. I think I was streaming at the time, so I couldn't watch it live. Yeah, I was streaming at the time last night, so like I couldn't watch the MK reveal live. But my god, MK11 is looking pretty damn good. Very excited for that game now, which I wasn't before, because I just thought, because I'm not a big fan of the NetherRealm games as a general rule. I find them a bit clunky compared to other fighting games, especially seeing as I mostly play anime fighting games. So for me, NRS games feel very clunky, but 11 looks very smooth. Oh, so you played it too, so it plays well. Ooh, wasn't paying attention. Oh, I knew I was going to get caught, I wasn't running quick enough. Well, that's good to know. And also, Scarlet, yeah, with you 100%. If I get 11, it's very likely that Scarlet will be my character. I've got a somewhat thing that you may have noticed for characters that use their own blood to attack with for some reason. I mean, maining Carmine, for instance, in Unist. I like the risk reward of that, and also mirror in. Is this the boss? Yeah, maining mirror. No, this is the mini boss. Maining mirror in. I didn't main mirror in Killer Instinct, but like Mirror was one of my favourite characters in Killer Instinct, so. Right, mini boss time. Mid boss, that's what they refer to themselves as. Mid bosses are usually silent. No. Could you kindly just sod off for a moment? Bye. But yeah, Scarlet's definitely on my agenda for MK11. Although I must admit, I like the way the new character looks as well, with time control ability. It does look really cool. So that's maybe another one. Potentially another one. Oh, how did I not see that before? Wow, this amount that all this stuff that I've missed. Don't want to deal with that. Just so you know, those guys, the reason I'm always targeting those guys with grenades on their back so quick after they arrive is because they detonate themselves. Which is... it's much better just to get rid of them. Nope. He says, not getting rid of the next one, like an idiot. This is the kind of weird gauntlet bit. What do you have to say? I can't remember. Has like weird things. Golgum, this is Travis Strikes Again, No More yeah, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, which is actually really fun. Yeah, it's actually a really enjoyable little game. So Definitely something I'd recommend. Did I say you could stand back up? Why is it so monumentally different to No More Heroes 1 and 2? That's because it's not technically a sequel. It's set after No More Heroes 2, for sure. But it's kind of a side story, and SUDA 51 has said that it is a side story. It's not. This isn't a canonical sequel to. Well, it is a canonical sequel because it's set after No More Heroes 2, but it's not. This isn't No More Heroes 3. This is not intended to be No More Heroes 3. Which is good, because this is not No More Heroes 3. It's very evident. It's odd. I mean, I was saying this at the beginning, like, this as a game is multiple different games. My review's going up on Monday, so I can go more into it there. No, Monday/Tuesday, like early next week, basically, before Wednesday. And I'll explain it in greater depth there, but this doesn't just feel like one game. This is multiple games that are tied up within one game, but not as in a mini-game sort of way. Because there is a narrative thread that runs through it that combines all of the games together. But each game has its own individual narrative, whether that be a more involved narrative or whether that be a less involved one, because some of them have kind of like essentially non-entity narratives, like for instance this one, Electric Thunder Tiger, has a pretty much non-entity narrative. It's essentially a tutorial level. Oh, damn it. It's essentially a tutorial level, and it's very, very evidently a tutorial level. And also, as another thing, different doesn't necessarily mean bad. Yes, this is very different than the original No More Heroes. I cannot the original and the sequel, My Desperate Struggle. This is a very different game than those two. However, this does feel, in a lot of ways, like a No More Heroes game. I mean, not only is it just because it has Travis, but like the humour is very, very similar. The more blasé, insane kind of action is all here, like in No More Heroes 1 and 2. Essentially, the assassinations are still here because you've got a boss at the end of each game in the death drive. So a lot of the beats that you expect from a No More Heroes game is here. It just doesn't look like a No More Heroes game. Which I think really, I mean, I love No More Heroes 1 and 2. I try, especially No More Heroes 1. No More Heroes 1 is like probably one of my all-time favourite games, or at least in the top 10 for sure. But even I acknowledge the fact that it's not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. So really, I can appreciate that this is trying something new, and it does it quite successfully, in my opinion. I mean, there was, I mean, like, this is going to be in my review, but like as a little like weird preview thing, and I really should be paying attention to what I'm doing. There was a point in one of the levels in which I had got myself into a state where, into a situation where I could not finish the level, and I had to quit out of the level and start again. But I've only found that once, and having a bug like, and even in a weird way, having a bug like that in a game that is about essentially bugs in video games, because like this floor segment here is a bug in the system. Like all of the enemies are essentially bugs in both ways, both physically in terms of a lot of their manifestations, a lot of their physical attributes, they're bugs, but also they are bugs in the game simultaneously, which is wonderful. I love how weirdly meta that is. But even there being a bug in the game in which I couldn't like progress counts towards the game in a really weird way, because it's unintentionally meta. You're getting on my nerves. But yeah, as I say, like, different does not mean bad. One last toilet before the bus, which is a really weird statement. And also depending on the level as well in this Golgum as well, the objective will be slightly different. I mean, the objective always almost invariably ends with you killing something. Like the boss of the level in some description, but like the overall arcing point of the level, what you're trying to achieve, will differ depending on the level, and will change the gameplay as well. So it's kind of like, why have one game when you can have many sort of situation, but it doesn't ever feel like mini games, which is the cool thing, and the good thing, I'd say, actually, because if it felt like mini games, then it would have really cheapened it. And obviously, it has, like, Travis is still a colossal douche as well, which I'm glad that hasn't changed. I'm really glad it hasn't changed. Be clever about this. love the fact you can stun bosses as well in this game. You can stun bosses just as much as you can stun enemies. Stay away from me. There you go. Well, there's a... Just going to cheekily screenshot that. Both game systems of gaining money sucks. Sorry, No More Heroes 2, your retro style mini games were shocking. Mask Hunting was awful. No More Heroes, Heroes Paradise had more problems added in. That's very true. Rival missions in No More Heroes 2 were pointless, but I feel the top-down aspect doesn't really fit with the sword play that's been established in the rest of the series. See, that's the point. The sword play in this game is not the same as in No More Heroes 1 and 2. It's simpler. You don't have to worry too much about the high-lows or the kind of high-low mix-up of No More Heroes 1 and 2, especially No More Heroes 1, and you don't need to worry about the wrestling moves either. So really, the fighting has been simplified, which means the top-down works. The way that the game has been created kind of really works with the mechanics they've got inside it. Right, phase 2. Of which I need to deal with those. Oh wow. Come on, Zach. Thank you. Ooh. Die, please. Good. You, go away. Nope, I got trapped. Essentially, Badman being on the right, this is a co-op game. Well, it's potentially co-op. Basically, a second player can drop in whenever they want and play as Badman, who has his own separate kind of level ups. You can put him in his own t-shirt as well, of which you can select from the t-shirts you unlock in the trailer, and also he can have his own set of skills. So the point of that being that Travis can select his skills and the Badman player can select their skills, and if you select the right skills you kind of complement each other in combat, at which point you can just wreck stuff as a pair, and that's kind of really a cool thing for me. I do like co-op games in general because playing with other people is fun, which is why I play a lot of fighting games, to be fair. Same principle. Okay, I need to deal with you. Where are you? You're over there. Oh, wow, okay. It's weird coming back to this early part of the game, and unsurprisingly, he is not. Here's where the wrestling moves come into play. But that's it. Oh yeah, I don't know what that means actually. It doesn't explain what the little symbols mean. I think what it means is the symbols will be Badman reacting to the last things you've picked up. So each symbol means something, or the last things you did. So each symbol means a different thing that you do in the game, whether it be collecting currency or killing particular enemies or whatever. And the emoji's a response to that, I think. I do not do enough charged attacks in this game, I don't think. And yeah, that's literally how it goes. You essentially assassinate the bosses of each game, each death ball on the Death Drive Mark II. That's me. Wow. No, it's not like roulette though. That's one thing for sure. Because otherwise, something would have unlocked for me by now. I have been playing quite a lot of this game, and something would have unlocked for me. But yeah, that's No More Heroes. Well, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I mean, I'll explain another couple of bits, but this needs to be a shorter stream today, unfortunately, which is why I chose this game, because I knew I could jump in and I could do the first level within about an hour, with about an hour. And then this is what happened basically when you come back out of the games. You have this kind of weird introspective moment with Travis, and this is very, very key, I think. Well, personally, I think this is quite key to how things are going to go with No More Heroes 3, because he has become a lot more introspective over time, as opposed to like just how abrasive he was in the first game and how abrasive he was in the second game. He appears to have mellowed out a little bit. I mean, he does actually say in the initial opening cutscene that he's retired, which that means a lot. He's a retired assassin at the top, well, who was at the top of his game, so it does mean quite a lot. Game can end here. They drop the name of the title. It's done. Like it. I loved that. When I saw that reference for the first time, I did actually audibly chuckle. So even during these segments, even during these like introspective segments, it's just insane how much how much they've thought about the narrative of this story. Yeah, so how am I doing for currency? 29,000. Yeah, so I can show off a few bits. So before ending the stream. So the Death Drive, as you just saw, is there, which you unlock new things for as you go through and play new games in each one. You unlock more by going on the motorcycle, which takes you into this weird visual novel in which you play the game. Like, you play the visual novel to find new death balls. It's quite incredible, actually. On the PC is where everything is like, where everything to do with the t-shirts and the ramen, basically the in-game consumable, in-game things you can buy are here. So like anytime you buy ramen, it appears on here. So I missed one in one of the levels, In fact, I've taken to not picking them up, which is bad, and I really should, because I've now got a healing spell, so I don't need the ramen. And then the t-shirt shop, in which you can spend money and discs to the coins, the Azteca stones, to unlock various t-shirts that are either individual ones, like the Hasbro ones, or the Power of Justice, or that sort of thing, with like indie developed titles as well as t-shirts, because Travis obviously would. So I'll buy the Absolver one, which is one. Get the Stanley Parable. Super hot. Got Bitrate Runner. What's the one I just saw, which is of a game I quite like? Fallen Legion, there it is. And then Hyperlight Drifter. So basically there's all these just really big indie games that are there. I love the Demambo one, I love the design of it. But then any t-shirts you unlock, whether you find them in the game, which you can, there's some you can find, or ones that you buy, all come in here. I showed this at the beginning of the stream, but I might as well show it at the end of the stream as well, because we've had new people come in. So like, you've got all of these t-shirts that really should exist in real life, especially like if they were to make, if they were to make that t-shirt, the Hollow Knight one, I would buy it immediately. Nintendo / Team Cherry, if you're listening. Same with Wargroove, I would buy that in a second. Someone Sanctuary, Hater for Boyfriend. Like, there's all these t-shirts that I would buy in real life, and it's kind of cool that like the game has them. And yeah, that is Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Sorry that I only had a shorter stream to share with you guys this week. There won't be a stream next Friday, just a heads up, because I'm not in the office, so there won't be a stream next Friday. There will be a stream on Tuesday though, where we're going to finish, damn it, we're going to finish the original Resident Evil 2, after I make up for the mistake at the end of the last Resident Evil 2 stream, of which that's going to take some time, but that's doable. So yeah, next week, Tuesday, 3 PM, Resident Evil 2, we're going to finish Leon's B scenario, ready for Friday, when Resident Evil 2 Remake comes out, which we won't be streaming that week, we'll be streaming the following week. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 Remake's on its way too. But yeah, have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye bye. Thank you, Mark. It means a lot to have your support. Also, buy this game. Buy it.